Sunny ways, my friends, sunny ways.
So the answer to that is to stop being stupid.
We have recently switched to drinking water bottles out of water out of when we have water bottles out of plastic. Away from plastic towards paper, like drink box water bottles, sort of thing.
Well, Lottie frickin' God!
You're ready to fight, aren't you? I can feel it!
I intend to resign as party leader, as prime minister.
Is this true?
Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
Sorry?
The servicing costs on the debt that you're going to have to carry, that you're adding to now, right?
Interest rates are at historic lows, Glenn.
There's the funds.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
On the topic, I mean, in terms of your sort of strategy currently, you're obviously taking the populist pathway.
What does that mean?
Mr. Prime Minister, will there always be a Canada? There will always be a Canada. All right. Elbows up. Elbows up.
It's like people only do things because they get paid. And that's just really sad.
When I'm Prime Minister, I will keep my promises. Now, another promise. Let me try again.
A lot of people would say that you're simply taking a page out of the Donald Trump book.
Like which people would say that?
Well, I'm sure a great many Canadians, but...
Like who?
I don't know who, but...
Well, you're the one who asked the question, so
yeah.
You must know somebody.
You sneaky. You're running as an outsider.
I am an outsider.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
We need to trigger an axe-the-tax election as soon as possible.
I can't do it. We'll do it live.
No. We'll do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Yeah, that's all that's coming off. There's nothing else coming off, yeah. I'm not Justin Trudeau here.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
Knockout.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Fringe. Welcome to Friday Night Fringe here on the channel. Boy, do we have a jam-packed stream for you guys tonight. It's going to get crazy. Going to get a little crazy up in here. Pierre was in Calgary today. We're going to talk about Pierre. Welcome into everybody who's here, everybody who's joining us. Of course, joining us as always tonight, the very beautiful Mrs. Fringe. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic. It's always good to have you here. Because you keep things in check. You keep it in line.
I do.
I have a history of stepping out of line occasionally. I don't know if you guys know about this, but we've got a lot to get into tonight. A lot. And a new sponsor we're going to talk about tonight. I normally don't take sponsors on the channel, but let me tell you something, folks. Clinton Jaws approached me this week and said, Derek, I know of a documentary. They would love to get some press, and I only take sponsors when they're things I agree with. You know this from when we took on Calendars That Curse. I think this documentary is going to be fantastic. We're going to talk about it tonight and a giveaway that they're doing for $5,000. Don't even have to do anything for the giveaway, but enter, folks. It's going to be great. Stay tuned for that. Also, speaking of giveaways, we have 2 giveaways to do tonight because it's end of the month, which means Unacceptable Fringe will be doing its 1 giveaway of any item from our shop, free of choice, for 1 lucky Patriots Club member. Not to mention Cabron Tex Carson also gifting another giveaway in lieu of Tamara's appeal. So the funds are going to that. And just a reminder, folks, coming up towards the end of the month, all merchandise purchases from the store, all Amazon book purchases, they're all profits are going to Tamara's appeal process. So make sure to grab that stuff before the end of the month. If you haven't yet become a member of the Patriots Club, what's wrong with you? Get in on that. That's the only way you can get into the draws. That's the only way you're applicable to the draws. Even if you join tonight, you're in for the draw. Speaking of draws, Reg Porter gifted 5 Unacceptable Fringe memberships to the Patriots Club. Thank you so much, Reg. As well as Arthur O'Kay gifting 5 Unacceptable Fringe benefits members twice. So 10. He's gifted 10 as well. Thank you so much, everybody, for the generosity. Let's have a great stream tonight. Thank you so much, guys. Welcome to all 15. Can somebody get the trolls in the comment? We're gonna have an issue with trolls. I'm gonna get into that later. But somebody get the trolls, please. Let's keep the comments nice, friendly.
Nice.
Let's not be dicks tonight in the stream, shall we? Let's do a roll call. Let's get a good roll call going on. Let me know where you're watching from. If it's your first time here, let me know in the chat. Let's go. Let's see if we can get one person from every province in the country. And how many American viewers? We usually have a lot of American viewers in here. Let's go. Alina from Hamilton, welcome in. We've got Chris coming in from Lloyd Minster, welcome in. Luca is in here with OAO. It's good to see you both in here. We've got Ingrid and Charlie coming in from Okotoks, Alberta with the LFG. Welcome in. Good to see you here. We've got Doris coming in from Acton, Ontario. We got OCD from Vavenby. We got Delphine Therault, who won our giveaway last week, or this week, earlier, last stream. Delphine, welcome to the
Just a few
stream.
days ago.
Just a few days ago, getting a little tongue-tied. J-By are the... no, we're not going to get into that. Guys, let's just keep it... Queen Esther, good evening, Mr. and Mrs. Fringe from Ontario. Welcome in. Luca from Burnaby, BC. Cole becoming a new member of the Patriots Club. Cole, welcome in. Thank you so much. Nelson coming in from New Brunswick. We got David Brewer joining us from good old Springfield, Missouri in the USA. Good old Springfield in America. Welcome in. It's good to see you. We've got Justin from Port Williams, Nova Scotia. We got Maya, coming in from North Central Alberta. Welcome in. Alan from Cowtown, which is Calgary, if you don't know. Hope you made it out to see Pierre today. Welcome in. Good to see you here. We've got, I think this is Mumima, coming in from Barrie, Ontario. Welcome in. CB coming in from the Republic of Alberta. Welcome into CB. Great guy. Got a good meme that he sent me today. Because I don't know if you guys know this. We kind of get into memes on Friday.
We get in the memes on every stream.
We can't not do memes. Welcome into CB. Great helper of the channel. Good to see you. We got Steph coming in from Montreal, Quebec. Beaver Dam coming in from Lloyd as well. We've got Debbie from Lloyd. A lot of guys from Lloyd. A lot of people from Lloyd. Jennifer coming in from Victoria. Welcome. And we got Mike TV Dub coming in as well from good old Winnipeg. Mike TV Dub here from the beginning. I don't know if you guys know this. We crushed it and hit 80,000 subscribers today. We're on that road to 100,000, folks. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, hit that button. 20,000 subscribers in the last 28 days, according to YouTube.
It's amazing.
What a show it's been here.
But you are kind of awesome, so I believe it.
I tend to be that guy, but hey, we also couldn't get there without Mrs. Fringe and all of our great community. So thank you to everybody who's joined us. Welcome in to everybody who's new here on the stream. Great to have you guys here. Let's keep it going.
Yeah.
Let's keep it going. But Mike TV Dub is here from the beginning.
Yeah.
He's going to see us past 100,000. So he's a part of this too. Big shout out to our mods, as you do a fantastic job, by the way. Jonathan's coming in from Windsor. We've got Adam from Saskatchewan. Lee joining us once again from Edmonton. Ryan from Ontario. What do we got here? Taylor Made from Macklin, Saskatchewan. Well, or is that Macklin? I think it's Macklin, Saskatchewan. Welcome in. Great to see you guys here. We've got Donovan coming in from, just shouting out Pierre Poilievre.
Yay.
We've got non-compliant Canadian coming in from Eastern Ontario. We've got Sean from St. Mary's. We've got Melanie coming in from Niagara Falls. Guys, so many people chiming in. I see a lot of Americans in there as well. Welcome into everybody. We have also some honorable mentions. Tamitha with the $13.99 super chat. Thank you so much. No message though. Get a message in there next time. Let's give you a proper shout out. North 49 RC also gifting 5 unacceptable Fringe
and Arthur
memberships to the Patriots Club.
5.
Did he do another 5? He did. He's in there so many times. I think we've already called him out. Arthur gifting another 5.
Call it out.
That's 15 so far tonight, Arthur. Thank you so much for your generosity. Welcome in. Also at the same time, Justin gifting another 5 unacceptable
Welcome to our new members.
Fringe
That's
memberships
awesome.
or unacceptable fridge, depending on where you watch us from. Luca with a $5 super chat. Pierre and Anna's intro at the hangar being open. Thousands waving and cheering was something else. Good their parents were there too.
Oh, that's awesome.
So happy to hear that. I was going to get into Calgary today. I was going to leave here and try to get there.
Really tried to convince you.
Here's the problem. I knew how busy it was going to be in there. To leave Spruce Grove, drive to Calgary, I would have left first thing this morning, been there for the early pre-rally tailgate party, streamed the event, and then by the time it was over, would have had to jump in the car, basically getting here 5 minutes before we had to hit the live button. It would have been a long day.
Would have been a very big
I didn't want to
day.
risk being late for the live. So we just said, you know what? We covered another rally. Elections on Monday. It's going to be crazy.
Oh, that's going to be a good one.
Join us for election night. It's going to be a great stream. Taylor Made gifting another 5 unacceptable Fringe memberships to the Patriot Club. Welcome to all of our new Patriots members tonight. Looks like we might set a record with gifted members. Tabitha with $13.99. I meant to say congrats. You didn't have to donate twice, but thank you for the super chat. See, this is why I say we have the greatest community on the platform. You guys are fantastic. Let's get into the memes. They see even Marika, right when I say it.
Let's go.
Even when I say it, Marika chiming in, one of my favorite mods named Marika, saying, "Get to the memes." Should we get to the memes? I don't know. Maybe I make Marika hang on a little bit longer. What do you think? Let's do it. Let's jump into the memes, ladies.
Yeah, the first one looks like a gooder.
This is a gooder. If you've ever seen Borat, Carney, communist learnings of CCP for make benefit glorious nation of China. Very nice. I like this one. This is a gooder.
I'm very grateful that there's no bottom half to this picture.
I'm glad it's AI because I really don't want to see Mark Carney in this kind of an outfit.
No,
it's
absolutely not.
Oh, Mark. I like this one. This one was sent to me by CB. I mentioned earlier that CB sent us a gooder. I like this one. Seinfeld, if you've ever seen Seinfeld. Kramer, what's going on in there? I don't know, Jerry, but these retards won't stop talking about their elbows.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. This one here, if you've seen the Obama posters, Mark Carney's new slogan, it's going to catch fire. Believe me, this one's going to be good. It's
that'll be his acceptance speech.
Can somebody get Paul Singh out of here, please? Paul Singh's been trolling from the beginning of the stream. One of my mods, please jump on that. I'm assuming he's in from other channels. This was part of their plan tonight. Shout out to you guys. You're committed. I'll give you that much. Liberals going in from Canada bad to Canada good with the elbows up in the Canadian flags. Did you guys see all the Canadian flags popping up as soon as Team Canada became a thing? As soon as Mark Carney started saying elbows up. Everywhere I go, that's all I see now. It's like even when we hang around in woke Edmonton, elbows up t-shirts and food products and all these things being sold, like they're cashing in on it. I don't understand it. I don't get why anybody wants to.
They're on the wrong side.
That's absolutely ridiculous. I like this one. This one was sent to me by OAO. Speak like pro. Speak like Mark Carney with a good bottle of ums. It's that's a gooder. I like this one. The good old gravestone meme with Justin Trudeau worshiping the death of Canada. But here comes Mark Carney giving the good old the Wasaga Beach salute. If you hate Canada, vote Liberal on April 28th. Nobody here is going to do that. Don't make that mistake, guys. Don't vote Liberal. Friends, don't let friends vote Liberal. Tyler Watson with a $2 super chat. Welcome into the stream. Great to see you. Good to see you. Always good to see you. That's the end of our memes. That's it for memes today. Not a bad day for memes.
No, not too bad.
I want to get to a little bit of business we got to handle here. A little bit of our new sponsor. I want to talk about this sponsor because I'm very thrilled to mention a new documentary called Broken Country. It's an absolutely captivating documentary. Now, I've had the benefit of taking a behind-the-scenes peek of what is coming. Now, this documentary doesn't yet have a release date. It is coming within the next few months. Editing, all those things still going on. This documentary looks absolutely fantastic. So when they approached me this week and said, Derek, we think that this documentary fits the narrative of your channel. We'd really like to see if you could work with us. I said, absolutely, bring it on. I fully support this.
Yes.
I'm going to show you guys the trailer, or at least a clip of the trailer. And then I want to talk about a giveaway that they're doing. This is, I can't even say enough good things about it. Let's start the trailer.
I'm excited to see it because I haven't yet.
And then we'll talk about it.
Do I have a family doctor? No.
No, I do not.
I actually have been trying to get an appointment with them.
No, but I'm on the wait list.
Yeah, I do, but she's retiring.
No, I don't.
I do have a family doctor. She's hard to reach, though.
I think after like 2-3 years, I finally found one. It was a horrible experience, honestly.
I had a family doctor.
but he has since moved to another country to try and find other work that's going to pay more than it does here.
Everybody wants a change. Everybody wants a change in this country.
There's a myth in Canada that we have dirty oil. That couldn't be anything further from the truth.
We need immigration, but I don't disagree. Welcoming 600,000 new people to Toronto every single year, year after year after year, may not be sustainable.
Regulation is a huge barrier in this country.
Every single aspect of operating these businesses has gone up dramatically in the last 4 years.
It's hard to make money in Canada.
59% of food bank users have a post-secondary education.
There's a critical mass of households who are one paycheck away from homelessness.
I think where we're starting off now, we are 5 steps behind what our parents started off with.
But wait, it gets worse.
Baby born today, she's on the hook for about $30,000 in federal government debt.
It really has been a very tough decade, and it's not surprising that people are grumbling.
The scene in downtown Vancouver is shocking.
The reality on the ground is the Canadian healthcare system is not delivering for Canadians, full stop.
So they talk about the emergency department being the canary in the coal mine of healthcare, so that when things are going bad in Emerge, they're going bad everywhere else in healthcare. I wear this to remind me that the fucking canary's dead.
Amazing.
So not only does this documentary look like it's absolutely fantastic,
Yeah.
Broken Country is on its way out in the next few months. The best part about this documentary, from when I sat down with them and spoke with them, it's trying, they're nonpartisan. So you know that none of this is scripted. It's not to push a certain narrative, just cold hard facts. From doctors, from people. They're talking about the housing market, our healthcare system, basically the state of Canada right now. Very well put together documentary. Again, I've taken a look behind the scenes, folks. I can tell you right now, this is definitely going to be worth a watch. We'll be talking about it in the coming weeks. Very happy to be working with these folks. But one of the things I want to point out is a giveaway that they're doing. Now, if you're on Instagram, you want to head over to broken.country.film on Instagram. The link is in the description down below, right beneath the video. When you hit the more button underneath the subscribe, you'll see all the information you need for entering into the draw. You have to share, you have to tag a certain amount of people. You'll have to forgive me. I don't have it pulled up in front of me. Again, I told them I was doing a pro bono shout out tonight. But all the instructions are in the description down below. You have to follow them, share it out to 3 people. And I believe there's another requirement there. Again, when we have our full ad together, you guys will get all of it.
But all the information,
all the information is in the description. Join. All you have to do is follow those instructions, and you guys are automatically entered for a $5,000 giveaway when the film launches. Free $5,000. I know everybody here could use $5,000 right now, and I know that they're good for it. So follow them on Instagram. Hopefully one of our lucky community members wins that $5,000.
That would be amazing.
Again, Broken Country film. Broken Country looks absolutely fantastic. So shout out to them. Again, I don't take a lot of sponsors on this channel, but this is one that I was very, very happy and excited to work with and take on. So let's support this film.
Yeah.
Aaron Gunn did absolutely amazing documentaries. We've seen amazing documentaries coming out about the Freedom Convoy. This is another one to add to the pile. This is going to be an absolute knockout. And we're supporting local.
It's Canada's history. We all want to be in there.
Absolutely. So jump on that. BJ McGraw with a $100 super chat. Thank you so much. Wanted to let you know, I sent 2 super chats of $10 to the person you were on cam with last night. One earlier when you came on with him, which stated, "Let's take down the Liberals. The infighting is helping no one. Keep doing what you do." I agree. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. We're going to talk a little bit about the election tonight. Again, go on to Instagram, follow Broken Country. I always say Broken County. Broken Country. I don't want to misrepresent them. No. Go follow them. Get in for the $5,000 draw. It's going to be great. Renee mentioning that the pleb, David Moose on the Loose, Jasper, Clinton Jaws are going to be in Nanaimo tomorrow for Pierre's rally. Great turnout. Awesome. Can't wait to see that, guys. Janet becoming a new member of the Patriots Club. Thank you so much. Going to be absolutely fantastic to see that rally tomorrow. Let's talk a little bit about the election. Deception in the election. Now, a lot of people are mentioning another channel in which I stepped into last night. If you guys were here when we did our live stream earlier this week, we talked about a video that came out that was discussing open ballot boxes with election kits inside of them, where a misrepresented quote, which was removed from the video, I will say, was removed from said video after a great extent, claimed that those were our ballots and they were being tampered with. The video also went on to talk about the problems with our elections, with letting people in with improper credentials.
Yep.
And again, I wasn't really complaining about that. That's not my gripe. My gripe was what it does.
No, but I even know, like, from our last stream as well, there was a lot of communication going on with the vote because the early vote was last weekend. Everyone was talking about bringing pencils and how...
Well, bringing pens over pencils.
Yes, and how they're supplying pencils. And there's a lot of fear right now that this vote is going to be corrupted, that there is going to be something that happens with the government. But this article was so good. It just kind of outlines all of that and explains everything.
Shorts Gone Wild, $5 super chat. Good people of Alberta, vote blue for our peace, freedom of speech, and futures of our children and grandchildren rely on us all. From a grandpa of 7. Well, congratulations on the 7 grandchildren.
Yes.
Welcome in. Thank you for the super chat. What I was essentially talking about in my video that was pulled yesterday was the problem when you put out videos that we don't check our sources, that we make misrepresented calls on. The problem when you look at Ezra Levant and what happened during the debates with the mainstream prostitute media fighting him, that was all rigged. It was all done and scheduled that way so that the liberal media can turn around, the government-funded media can say, this is why you only want us at these events, because they're out of control. They're unhinged. They don't know how to behave themselves. They just come here to cause chaos. They're ultra right-wing radicalists, whatever have you.
Find an issue.
This is the same reason why you'll see, and again, a video was going out today of Pierre poilievre removing bad apples from his rally that went there to basically derail and deter.
Yeah.
Probably worked for the Liberals.
Oh, they were most likely planted. I mean, the ones with the MAGA hats, they were planted.
But they remove these things not because they don't want you to have free speech. They remove them because of what the left is doing to use it as ammunition.
Yeah, and when they take away free speech, they'll use that as an example.
Oh, BJ saying the rally in Nanaimo's tonight, not tomorrow. My bad.
Oh, nice.
My bad. I thought it was tomorrow. Man, Pierre's really knocking them out of...
busy. Well, I mean, he's only got a few days left.
It's 7 rallies I think he's going to do before now, before today, sorry, and election day.
Crazy.
I digress. Let's get back to the portion at hand. Now, this channel spent a good portion of their evening last night on a live stream calling me fat, calling me retarded, for multiple hours to try and coax me to get onto their stream. I went on there, conceded to pull my video. I'll be honest, this person I've got no desire to ever collaborate or work with in the future. This person is a bully.
Well, he's made himself very clear on the type of person he is.
Based on how he speaks, how he treats people, I'm not going to get into it any further.
Nope.
I pulled the video because his community was threatening to come in here, derail our streams. We don't need any of this infighting. We don't need any of it before
but we're all
election
on the
day.
same side.
Well, he was throwing a tantrum.
So there's no need for this.
So when a baby throws a tantrum, you put a pacifier in their mouth, you give them what they want, and you move on. That's what we've done. Sean with a $2 super chat. I think Alberta should have more seats in the election. I'm assuming that's supposed to say.
In the
thank you for
election,
the,
yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for the
sure.
super chat.
I do agree.
Now, to prove my point, the reason I bring all that up is because while I'm being called fat and retarded over and over again, I don't know if you guys know this. I go on the stream to have to confirm to him for some reason I'm fat. To quote John Candy, another fat guy, I like me. Okay. I'm happy with me.
I like you.
What are we, 5 years old? Is that really how we conduct ourselves?
But I mean, if that's the only bad thing he can say about you.
But I go on there anyways to talk about the issues with putting out this kind of information, not the voter information, but claiming of ballots, how it's ammunition. And it's backed up because I said the left looks for any excuse. Well, here we go. Misleading fraud claims threaten trust in Canada's election. This is an article out from CTV.
Yeah.
it gives them ammunition to say this is why we shouldn't have independent media. We shouldn't allow people on other platforms other than government-funded media to come out and share news stories because they don't check their sources. They don't follow the rules. They're causing hysteria amongst people. BJ, the $2 super chat, seats should be equal in each province. I agree.
100%. And
I
you
agree.
said that to our MP here.
Absolutely I did.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was on the same page.
No.
But this article came out today. You can see it here, published April 25th, CTV. With Canada's April 8th, 28th election. And I'm going to show here how it gives the ammunition. With the election predicted to be a tight race between Carney's Liberals and Pierre's Conservatives, unproven claims of vote fraud and manipulation continue to surface on social media. The Canadian Digital Media Research Network found high levels of trust in electoral process, but flagged an increase in posts questioning the integrity of the election, called amid dramatic shifts in sentiment towards the parties. It's going to get into one portion of the article. You remember, if you follow the pleb had tweeted out how he faced a lot of backlash for telling Canadians, take a pen with you to the polls. You're allowed to take a pen with you. Again, this article points that out. But a lot of people gave him backlash. Again, that got enough traction, and it's also mentioned in this article. But this is what shill prostitutes are doing with this information. They're showing how certain accounts are creating hysteria to the sheeple, like the Brantford Boomer, who suck it all up and lash out at us. This doesn't benefit anybody when we don't check our sources. On election nights, candidates can send representatives to monitor the hand counting and raise concerns about any suspicious behavior. The paper-based process led to rumors that pencils provided to mark ballots are leaving the door open for citizens' votes to be erased. Advanced voting saw some poll workers facing harassment for failing to offer a pen, but pencils are mandated by Canadian law. Engagement with the claim spiked even as democracy experts said instances of tampering are rare, with safeguards in place to ensure votes are tallied correctly. Additionally, the Nonpartisan Elections Canada agency said in federal elections, nothing prevents electors from using their own pen or a writing tool to mark their ballot. Tyler, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. I appreciate that. Not playing a victim card here. I just think it's childish. It's just so childish. Advanced voting saw some poll. Oh, we got to that. Another claim recycled misinformation from the 2024 U.S. election, falsely warning any mark on a ballot by a poll worker invalidates it. In Canada, election workers are trained to write their initials on polling station information on each ballot before it's filled out by the elector to ensure the integrity of the vote. It's happening all in front of you. You get your ballot from the poll workers, you go back to fill it out, said Holly Ann Garnett, co-director of Electoral Integrity Project. ID required. Misinformation is also spreading in French, with posts warning a voter information card was delivered to a deceased person. However, Garnett said the document, which tells a person where to go to vote, does not automatically grant the right to cast a ballot. It can confirm your address, but there are other safeguards in the process, she said, adding that voters still need to provide a second proof of address or photo identification. Now, again, this is what MCGA was pointing out in his video, that there are bad actors. There are issues within our electoral system. And I'm not debating that.
No.
Those issues should be handled. They should be dealt with. Those polling offices, when video like that is captured, it's definitive proof that there are flaws in our electoral system. But we're going to get to where the real problem is. Tamitha with a $6.99 super chat. It's always people like that who ruin it for others. Well, we're going to get into that. It says here, additionally, receiving more than one voter information card does not mean you can vote more than once. A printer error resulted in some registered electors receiving a duplicate. Record turnout for advanced voting also triggered concerns about poll workers tampering with ballots by taking them off site. Election Canada dismissed this as unfounded since each ballot box is sealed before counting on election day and any irregularities would be reported. Now, again, I was told by MCGA that, I got these from a campaign manager. I've shown them to, or no, he got them from a viewer. He showed them to a campaign manager. The campaign manager knew he was going to show them. I don't really care what the explanation was. His words on the video stated, "These ballot boxes are open, unguarded, and our ballots are inside them." Now, again, he pulled that from the video, but I have a feeling that was after ours came out and he was thoroughly embarrassed. And then proceeded to, rather than chat about it, call me a fat retard for 3 hours.
And we've already gone through it. Like, the boxes were brand new, they weren't even folded. And when they take your ballots, like when the box is done, they close it and tape it with a special tape before they remove it from the floor. So it's not something they just leave out in the open. It was just ridiculous.
Nilok being a member for 1 month, thank you so much. In the elections guide, it's sketchy about requiring ID. Met MP Cooper on Wednesday. It was wild to hear candidates lie to my face. Cooper was the only one prepped. I mean, again, flaws in our system. I'm not debating flaws in our system. We know that there's issues, and it's good people are pointing those out.
And they should be called out. There should almost be somewhere where you can call and, say this so that they can put a stop to it before the end.
So somebody saying that this guy wanted to physically fight me. Here's the problem. I went on his stream and reminded him that when you're slandering somebody like this, if I were the type of person to go this route, I could physically sue him. I could sue him. But he immediately backed out and said, "Oh, we might have to cut off this conversation." I said, "I'm not the guy who's going to sue you."
Done at that point.
But your mouth is going to get you into trouble. You have to watch what you're saying. You have to vet what you're saying. You have to be appropriate. If you want to use YouTube as a business, if you want to use it as a platform to get your information out or have people take you seriously, there's a certain way you're expected to behave on the platform.
I know, and he went on.
I'm not here to debate that. Again, I'm past it. I'm not dealing with this.
We're on the same side. We choose to be kind.
Well, I won't be dealing with it. This guy's a degenerate. I will not deal with him in the future.
That's where we leave it.
My bottom line was I didn't need trolls coming in here 3 days before an election derailing everything. The point is they mentioned the ballot boxes in this article from CTV.
Yep.
And this is exactly the point why I said you have to be careful what you say. You have to check your sources before you say those things.
The Liberals are looking for anything on the wrong side. They want us to fail. They want us to screw up.
Junior with a $27.99 super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Arthur, okay, $10 super chat. I got to say, it's good to see Dirk the Daring is wearing his very best for the live stream tonight, looking sharp as ever. And oh, yes, you and your lovely wife, Tiffany, also looking the very best. I thank you for that.
Thank you, Arthur.
Always great to have you in here, Arthur. You guys are great. Here's the thing. Articles like this, and again, this is 2 days after.
It was a very well-written article. I love that it gave all of the information.
It does give the facts. It gives the information. But the problem here is when people want to pick fights on YouTube and they say, "Hey, maybe you should have DM'd me before putting out the video," things like that. I don't need somebody's permission to say some of us want to make sure that videos are done properly. That because I want to speak for those of us like us, Northern Perspective. I'll give them that one because they do actually check their sources.
Yeah.
When you look at Clinton Jaws, you look at David Moose on the Loose, the Pleb. Some of us make sure before we put things out that all of it matches what it has to, and we're aware of who's watching us. I wasn't out there to pick on MCGA.
No, you weren't.
I'll be very blunt and say that another time, just to make sure everybody knows the bases are covered. I wasn't there to slander him.
No.
He claimed he lost 200 subscribers and that it was my fault. Maybe
the way he was acting was definitely.
You can see where the fault comes from.
Yeah,
it's not.
I would unfollow if I followed him in the first place.
Well, that's your opinion, and again, I never once have said to anybody don't follow him.
No,
if you like that kind of content, by all means, I wished him all the best. I said good luck.
It's just not for me. I be kind. That's all.
Yeah, Taylor made with $5 or not $5, 5 gifted memberships to the Patriots Club. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. The bottom line is this: if you want to attack me, go ahead. You want to call me fat, fine. I don't care. Look, I got news for you. I'm really sick and tired of the fat remarks.
I love the way you look.
I've stopped my medication that inhibits my metabolism because I'm sick and tired of it. I'm going to go to the gym and just get it over with because I'm so sick and tired of people thinking that that's an attack. And when you sit on the internet all day trying to put out videos, you're trying to do the best you can, and people want to stoop to that level. that they can't just say, I've got a problem with this or I have an issue.
We'll just move on from it.
I just, it's so childish. Nillock with $2 super chat. Other Chris blocked my chat for bringing up the ID. I don't know who that is who blocked you. Thank you for the super chat.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you're referring to. But this article is the problem. Especially if Mark Carney wins on Tuesday. Or Monday. Sorry, Monday.
Monday.
Jeez, it's creeping up fast. If Mark Carney wins on Monday, if Tuesday he becomes prime minister, we're going to see censorship on a whole level we've never seen before. We have to be diligent. We have to be careful. This was free advice. Do better. Make sure we're covering our asses. Because all it takes is one of us to screw up. Look at what happened at the Freedom Convoy. Nobody did anything, but the government finger pointed Tamara Leach and Chris Barber. All of a sudden, all of them are this. All of them are bad. Pat King says something nobody agrees with, and suddenly Tamara and Chris are the bad people. It's very easy to label an entire group for the actions of one person. That all I've requested is, let's be a little more careful. Let's make sure we're not giving them any ammunition. We're not giving them any reason to come out, because as people said, oh, are you retarded? You don't understand. They're not going to call out my videos. They're not going to say anything. Well, here it is. The next day, CTV has it in their article. I tried to warn you. Nobody wanted to listen. So while people thought I was attacking somebody, there it is in proof. They take these things and they use them as ammunition to discredit the rest of us. David with the $5 super chat. I'd rather have yours and Tiffany's honesty. Okay. We also need... We need more cowbells? I don't know about that.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
Okay, so let's get on to the better things of the election.
Moving on.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Let's get on to the better parts of the election. We also have honorable mentions. Steph with the $6.99 super chat. Lost my subs when I see the photo of you in a clown costume.
No.
Not because you said something about him. Well, there's, I guess, proof I didn't cost that sub. Tamitha, $7 super chat. Gotta go. Thanks the two for all you do. We need reliable sources of info. Vote. Thank you so much. Make sure you get in and vote. Reg, $5 super chat. You are both class act. And the petty people who want to bash you, it grinds my gears. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. As well as Annetta with a $2 super sticker. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Nemo saying, is that why Celtic is gone? I love her. So that was one thing I mentioned on this other channel last night, is that, look, you don't, I asked, do you know who Celtic Canuck is? No, I don't, he said. So I says, well, she mentioned one thing about the EU in relation to Canada, and her channel was completely nuked. 30,000 subscribers gone.
It was
all of her secondary channels, everything gone, removed, taken off the earth. She couldn't even appeal it to YouTube. She couldn't ask what it was, if she could remove it, if she could get a strike. And keep in mind, she didn't have any strikes on her channel prior. Like I said, we're going to see mass censorship. And people need to watch. You'll notice on this channel that maybe I'll drop the occasional cuss word, but not on the level of other channels. Those channels are going to get cut out pretty quick if they're not careful. Again, I was trying to offer some advice. I do think we're not going to have to worry about Mark Carney. I'm going to be skeptical, though. I'm going to be skeptical and say things are still going to be okay. Things are still good. Let's take a look at Pierre's rally in Calgary today. Again, I really wanted to get out here. I didn't think I'd make it back in time for live stream. What an entrance Pierre had. Now look at the audience size of this rally.
Do we know how many people he had versus Edmonton?
I haven't found anything online yet with a definitive number.
That would be amazing.
But look at the size compared to Edmonton. I can guarantee you there were, no offense to Edmonton, but I guarantee you there was more people here. Take a look, guys. Take a look. So Pierre coming in on the plane is absolutely amazing. What an entrance. The cojones on this man. Look at the turnout in here. And keep in mind, this is one angle.
Wow.
It's not getting over to the left, behind. This is Marika saying, I heard 15,000 people were there.
Wow.
I'm willing to bet there was more.
Bet you there was more. Calgary's got to beat Edmonton.
I was at the Edmonton rally, and I'm not trying to show favoritism to Calgary just because we live there. This is significantly more than what I saw in Edmonton. I think 15,000 is just the tip of the iceberg. Chris saying, I think it's 30,000 there.
Wow.
Again, I'm not sure. This is an airplane hangar. Keep in mind.
Yeah, like it's huge.
It's huge. They got this wonderful airplane hangar. They're bringing in Pierre, just like Trump. I shouldn't say it like that. He doesn't want to associate it with Trump.
Nope.
Pierre's coming in. He's going to make Canada great again. It's going to be fabulous. Pierre absolutely nailed it. I love how you've got all these red signs, though, for change at a Pierre rally. You might confuse those for liberals.
You need blue. Yeah,
like seriously, what does a plane like that cost? Says TaylorMade. It's chartered for one. They don't own it.
No.
I'm not sure, but you know who
I'm
couldn't
sure the
afford?
wrap was more expensive.
You should maybe ask Jagmeet Singh because he could not afford. Great success. This is Jagmeet's out begging for gas money.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Oh, Nilok saying other channels were blocking my chats about the ID.
Oh.
Sorry to hear that. Carney. Daphne and I were there. It was about 4,500.
Oh,
There's more than 4,500 people there. Way more than 4,500.
There was 15.
Or is he maybe saying 45,000? Maybe he left a zero out.
That would be insane.
Somebody's saying it was 4,000. No, there's more than there's more than 4,000 people here, folks. Way more than 4,000. Way more than 4,000. We'll get an exact number because Pierre specifically said when he went outside to see the pleb after the Edmonton rally, when they were talking about 15,000, he says, well, I guess we'll have to do one in Calgary. And pleb said, I'll come back to Alberta. Now, he didn't make it because of the Nanaimo rally. But of course, Pierre's going to bring out the numbers because he's from Calgary. He's going to want the numbers. He says, no, around 4,500 people. That can't be right. This is, I'm telling you from standing at the Edmonton rally, this is way more than 4,500 people. I'm not trying to say you're wrong.
No.
I just, can somebody get the trolls out of here, please? It doesn't look like much, but I'm telling you, when you look at Pierre's rally, let's bring up. Oh, I'm not gonna make everybody wait while I bring up Pierre's rally in Edmonton. I'll wait for the official number. They said 7,000. 7,000.
Okay.
If that's it, well then maybe it's just more than what it looks like. This looks like significantly more than when I stood in the room in Edmonton. Again, you're not seeing behind the camera. If this is where the camera shot ends, then yes, I'll buy that number. But usually the camera's around where the stage is. Again, the stage is here, over on the left. So there's usually a significant amount of people behind here where they have their Canadian flag backdrop. So again, that's fine. If that's the number, we'll take it. I seriously hope it's more. Carol with a $5 super chat. There were so many people there. It took us forever to get out. You wouldn't have made it home in time for stream, says Carol.
I'm sure.
No, and that was the problem. Marty up north was there, and he filmed the entrance. Like, let's take a look at this. This is how they entered for the rally. Okay, so right here, I'm going to cut in because you can see the crowd back here. So now I'll buy those numbers. Okay, I'll buy those numbers. Look, you can see back here. As soon as it pans backward, there's the okay.
Yeah.
So
it's not as big.
Okay, so it's not as big. Edmonton wins. Edmonton wins. So I'll apologize up front.
Sorry.
Sorry, not sorry. So over here to the right is where I figured they'd be filling, and then again at the back, I figured this was much larger than what it looked like.
That really surprises me.
Smokeless Choice, $5 super chat. A vote for Poilievre. Sorry, Pierre is a vote for common sense and the life of a nation, whereas a vote for Carney is a vote for insanity and the death of a nation.
Yes.
We're going to get to that. So you can see the crowd here, but what an entrance this is.
do that.
What a rock star entrance for Pierre, coming straight out the plane. I mean, this is the next Prime Minister of Canada, ladies and gents. It was a short stop at noon. 4,000 was a lot. Yeah. So that's why, again, I'll buy that number.
Oh, no, it's a Saturday. What day is it?
It's Friday.
It's a weekday.
It's Friday. It's Friday.
And we're here.
Friday. Carney. It's a damn good day for a half day notice.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you for the super chat. Speaking of, somebody said, OAO said, I owe you a chicken wing on May 10th. If you guys aren't aware yet, our meet and greet in Edmonton now has a venue. Saturday, May 10th, West Edmonton Mall, Bourbon Street, Hudson's. Make sure to come into Hudson's, say hello. If you have any books you want signed, bring them there. We'll be doing pictures, selfies, chatting with you guys, getting to know you guys outside of these videos in person. It's going to be a lot of fun. We are on the list. We have a private room in the back, so make sure when you get there, you let them know that you're there for Unacceptable Fringe. They'll bring you straight in, even if they're full, because I know it's playoff season.
Yeah.
So come on in, see us. It's going to be a great time. Again, I'll have books there for anybody who wants to buy them. $20 cash per book. Again, all proceeds will be going to Tamara and Chris, so they will be signed. If you bring books to the meet and greet that you already have that you want signed, free of charge, no cost to do so. Hope to see you guys there. I think it's going to be great. Again, Pierre showing with his numbers that I think the Conservatives are in a good spot. I think they're in a good spot. Somebody saying, where is it here? Hey, Derek, there's like 10,000 people in Vancouver's rally tonight.
That's awesome to hear.
Are we talking about Nanaimo?
Yeah.
Because that's separate from Vancouver, I believe. But
well, Nanaimo's not too far from Vic Island.
But it's not Vancouver.
Well.
I'm assuming we're talking about Nanaimo.
Same area.
Either way, can't wait to go and watch the coverage. Hopefully, I really hope Clinton Jaws is live streaming. I hope it's not just the pleb or Moose. I want to see Clinton Jaws doing it. I keep talking to Clinton Jaws about coming on the channel. It'd be good to hang out with him. I think him and I would hit it off. We do chat behind the scenes.
Yes.
And he's a very nice guy. Again, he referred us to our sponsor. He's a wonderful guy. Great guy, Clinton Jaws. Wonderful.
One of the best.
One of the best, believe me. I like him. I've met a lot of YouTubers, some are degenerates, but Clinton Jaws, the best of the best. He's wonderful, believe me. I like him a lot. I want to see him live stream the event. Shout out to Clinton Jaws. If you haven't followed Clinton, a lot of people, every time I mention Clinton Jaws, they're like, who? Go and watch Clinton Jaws. He's got more subscribers than God. Go check him out. He doesn't need my help getting subscribers.
No, he does not.
But he's got really good content, and he's funny and wacky to watch. He cuts a lot of jokes. He's quite entertaining.
Invite
Clinton to the May 10th meetup. I will. I don't think he'll come out, but because he's out in BC.
Yeah.
But I'll extend an invitation. Marika saying Moose and Clinton Jaws have very good content. So I've shouted out David enough. Forget it. David gets enough praise.
Subscribe to
I
our
haven't
show.
seen, you know what, David, return the favor. I haven't seen David shout out Unacceptable Fringe once. You shout us out, Moose, and I'll send some more people your way. I'm just kidding. No, David does great work.
Yes.
I'm a big fan. I don't watch a lot of content from other creators because I don't want anybody thinking I'm taking their video ideas.
No, absolutely
but
not.
Occasionally I'll dip into older videos and watch past news videos once mine have come out, because then I don't have to worry about crossing the streams. You don't cross the streams. That would be bad. But he does great content. So does Clinton Jaws. Again, shout out to both of them. Absolutely phenomenal. And the pleb, I'm guessing whoever's funding his trip around Canada is going bankrupt. He's been working his butt off, covering all of these rallies. So shout out to him.
Yes.
And the extensive work he's done. He's got to be exhausted, really putting in the work.
He couldn't come to Calgary's because he was going into Nanaimo's. Like, he can't be there as fast.
Delphine saying, I like Moose. He should be our Canadian Doge. Absolutely.
Yes, that would be awesome.
I'd like to join him on that one.
We just need a Canadian Doge.
Does Clinton do both American and Canadian content? He does. He has multiple channels. He does cover both. He covers clips from The View. He makes fun of woke. He's absolutely great. Again, I can't say enough good things about Clinton Jaws.
He's killing it right now.
He's absolutely killing it. Adam saying, I gotta love the proton pack on the wall. You should see my other two.
They're much better.
Much better. I do have a movie accurate. And it's as heavy as a movie accurate. It is actually
maybe Halloween we'll do our Ghostbusters
fully licensed movie accurate. In fact, we did the unboxing for that on stream God, about what, a year and a half ago that would have been?
Yeah, it was a long time.
I think Mark Carney's in trouble. We showed on stream this week.
Oh, I hope he's in trouble.
We showed Rebel News asking people in Nepean where you're voting, and again, it was a very sad stream because we've seen a lot of, again, liberal boomers. We'll start saying liberal boomers because we have the best boomers.
We do.
We have the best boomers in Canada hanging out here on the Fringe. They really like Pierre. They want freedom. They want Canada to be great again. Liberal boomers, as selfish as they are, talking about their stocks, talking about, oh, I didn't mind Justin Trudeau at all. Things are looking a little abysmal in Nepean by Rebel News' count. But I digress. I think that people are starting to wake up. People are starting to see.
Well, it's easy not to worry about what Trudeau was doing if it didn't affect your bank account.
This election would have been significantly easier for Pierre to clench and win a victory in had Justin Trudeau have just stayed and run. We would have seen a nice lead for Pierre. We would be a little less nervous going into this election. But people are starting to wake up, even Blanchette. I'm going to show you guys this clip on CBC. Let's read what Ryan Garrison says. I got to show Ryan Garrison again. Shout out to Ryan Garrison. Follow him on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, on X, this guy, he's got the greatest posts. He's got fabulous posts. Ryan Garrison knows how to get people's buttons moved and pushed. He's absolutely fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. But it says, Blanchette finally seeing what we've been screaming from the rooftops since Carney announced he was running for leadership. He's not who he wants or says he claims to be. Canada needs to wake up. Let's take a look at what Blanchette had to say.
Seems more and more to have been a stunt. He wanted to make a statement. I am Mark Carney. I'm the best of them all. I'm a great negotiator. I have managed crisis in the past. I would change the world. Trust me. And it appears that it never happened, that the call was not what has been described afterwards, that there was no agreement, no support for Canada's sovereignty, no beginning for a deal, just the show of a man who wanted to pretend something which appears today not to be true. I believe many people in Canada and in Quebec will say, what the hell is that? And if that is not true, what else is not true?
Well, nothing's true with Mark Carney. He's a liar. Carney lies. We're at a point where we're winning this, folks. Again, this was done this week. This was this week that Blanchette said this. I think that Mark Carney's going to struggle in Quebec. I think that any Liberal voters in Quebec will vote Bloc, which, as much as I hate it, it's still a good thing because it's taking away from Liberal seats. Again, I don't count anything until election night. So we're going to have to wait and see.
Monday will be very interesting.
But even the media is breaking down. They're trying to get out. And again, when I mentioned earlier about the ballot boxes in their article, take a look at this that the Globe and Mail's doing. The Globe and Mail has been puckering up to Mark Carney since he told them to check their sources because he was mad that they were questioning his assets. Piolo with $5 super chat. We voted Conservative, but what are the cons, pun intended, of voting them in? We'll wait and see, I guess. Look, they're all government. At the end of the day, government is government. I don't want to sound like that guy who says, well, we'll take the best of the worst. I think Pierre really has a good view of Canada. Again, in his interviews, when he tears up during the debate even, saying, I haven't forgotten the people I've met and I've talked to, help's on the way. Mm-hmm. When he says, I want to govern or run the government, I don't want to run people's lives. That sounds like somebody who doesn't believe in the actions of the government. So again, I'll be a little naive this time around because we've had 10 years of abuse. And I'll hope that Pierre stays true to his promises, that he's who we think he is. The cons that I could see is that they get in and they don't follow through with their promises. We get blindsided. And if we do, that's too bad for Pierre. It'll be a one-term prime minister for him, a 4-year mandate. But since the Globe and Mail is getting desperate, look at this article they're trying to bring out for Pierre. Did Danielle Smith lobby the U.S. to help Pierre Poilievre? Sure looks like it, says the Globe and Mail. Now, of course, keep in mind, while the Globe and Mail gets subsidies from the government, you still have to pay the Globe and Mail to read this article. So isn't that funny? I think that any government outfit that gets subsidies shouldn't be allowed to charge a premium for you to read their content or watch their videos or their ads.
But they're going to blame her for talking to China because they want our oil now.
So they're saying that Danielle Smith was sent to the United States to convince Trump to kibosh Mark Carney, maybe by giving him an endorsement, maybe by backing off on the tariffs.
Yeah, because Trump is going to do what we tell him to do.
Because Danielle's going to go down there and say, listen, we really want Pierre to win. And Donald Trump will say, oh, what can I do? What can I do to help you? That sounds fantastic. Danielle, listen, I like you. You got big lady balls. Let me just sit down and I'll tell you right now.
It's okay if it's bad for Canada or for the U.S. I'll make sure that you guys are good. Like he would ever.
How the heck do you scrutinize journalism? Well, I say that they're fake news. They don't know how to put out articles. They don't know how to be true. They're shaking in their boots. They're all going to be unemployed in the next month when Pierre becomes prime minister. He's going to tell them you're fired. He's going to kick them out. They're going to be jobless, having to fend for themselves, find their own sponsors, just like this channel does. What a hack job that is. Did Danielle go to the States to help Pierre? Yeah, that was her. That was her intentions, wasn't it? Somebody says Ezra rocks. Ezra does rock. Ezra Levant's an amazing guy. Shout out to Ezra. I love these ones. No one is going to save us. Hopefully PP can stop the bleeding and right the ship, but the best rebellion is personal excellence. I mildly agree with that. I'm not one of those people that says Pierre's going to save us. Government is government. Nobody is going to save us. But I do believe that Pierre is the answer to us getting away from an abusive relationship with the government, at least for now. Again, time will tell what we get out of that deal. Now, I've said many times before, just because the Liberals may lose this election, if they were to lose, it doesn't mean the Fringe is going anywhere. It doesn't mean that content suddenly ceases on this channel.
There's
that we
always
say,
going to be content.
The Liberals are gone. There's nothing more to cover. The war is won. No, we're going to be here to keep the government in check. We're still going to be talking
Instead
about
of
politics.
memes, it'll be liberal tears.
In fact, once the election is over, this channel will also be covering question period. We'll be doing a lot more content. We'll be branching out a little bit. And now that my schedule has opened up a little bit since the move, so keep your eyes peeled for that. More Fringe coming your way. Oh, they got to sit around and watch a fat guy all day. Smokeless Choice, $5 super chat. Carney is a perfect example of your standard issue garden variety snake oil salesman. I saw endless scores of red flags with that rogue narcissist. Yeah, well, it's sheep. It's people like the Brantford Boomer that want to sit and push for Mark Carney because they've bought a $30,000 house in the late 80s or early 90s, and it's now worth $2 million. They've got their investments. They've retired nicely. They don't have to worry about nothing. And they're going to be gone in a few years. Those liberal boomers are selfish. Anybody who's wanting to vote for Mark Carney after the exposure of lies, after just everything. I'm not even going to point it all out. Every time Mark Carney opens his mouth, every time you see him failing, every time you see him get angry and walk away from a microphone or ban the media from an event, when you hear about his policies, when you hear the quotations of his books, if you're going to vote for Mark Carney, I'm sorry, you're stupid. You're stupid or selfish. It's one of the two. There's nobody on this earth that can give me a convincing argument that Mark Carney's going to do something good for Canada. But what's funny is, and we pointed this out on the last live stream, that every single sheep, every liberal boomer that wants to attack Mark Carney or attack Pierre or say that they're voting for Mark Carney, the first thing is Trump. They just say Trump all the time. It's like the mating call of retards. Trump, 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 Trump. Donald Trump isn't our problem. Government's our problem. Immigration is our problem. Crime is our problem. Affordability is our problem. Housing is our problem. Donald Trump is not our problem.
No.
BS Allergy saying people are brain damaged from their coof jabs. There's no other way to explain liberal voters. There isn't. There isn't. I know there was that joke book that says Justin Trudeau's accomplishments, and it's empty. But that was the one question I always asked people when they said, oh, I like Justin Trudeau. And I didn't see it very often being in Alberta.
No.
But anytime somebody brought it up to me, if I went back to visit family in Manitoba,
Why?
anything like it was, tell me please, what makes you want to support Justin Trudeau? And they'd always bring up, well, he supports transgenderism. He supports DEI. And it was all woke nonsense that didn't. And again, you'd talk to them and say, well, how does that benefit anybody? And that's when they would start to get angry because they have no talking points. They just want a virtue signal that, oh, I'm a good person because I'm inclusive. I include everybody. That's not an argument to vote in a government. It's not. Many people are scared going into this election that the polls are accurate, that, you know, Pierre's losing steam. There's been articles, we covered articles with them saying Pierre's going to lose his seat. No, he's not. It's not even close. Think of how funny it's going to be on election night. Now, again, alternate universe, hyperbolic. If we start covering the election and all of a sudden you see that blue wave, you just see it start swooping the nation. And every single media prostitute outlet has their jaws open, the coping, the seething, the crying. They'll blame Russians. They'll blame this channel. They'll blame every channel on YouTube and say it was all these YouTubers. It was the pleb's fault because he went across the country. It's plebble news. But you'll see, it won't it be great when they have to swallow their words if that happens? When they all have to just cope and seethe over the fact that they tried to convince a bunch of mindless idiots that this election was in the bag.
Carney's not even trying.
Dustin with a $2 super chat. What is your prediction? Care to make a $5 wager? I don't, and I'll tell you why. I'm no expert when it comes to elections. I've sat with many elections. In fact, when we were starting the channel, I covered Danielle Smith's election in Alberta, and I thought she was going to see stronger numbers when in fact some of them came down to the wire in Calgary.
Yeah.
I thought Calgary was going to go a lot more conservative than it did. And it goes to show that no matter what you think, elections are unpredictable until we get to the polls. Now, should Mark Carney win, I'm not going to say it's rigged. The whole thing's rigged. It's terrible. What I will say is there's a lot of stupid people in this country. Because again, we all have to know, folks, that if Mark Carney wins, it's all going to come down to Toronto and Southern Ontario. This is, again, where if Pierre wins, if Pierre gets a majority, we need to start pushing our MPs for electoral reform. As people were saying earlier in the stream, it should be spread out by GDP. There should be an even distribution of seats in this country. This is the time to fix that. When we have a government in that has just replaced one that's been heavily abusive, we need to push for some form of reform. And if they don't want to do that, that should tell you something next term about who to vote for. Cabron Tax Carson, $5 super chat. What time does the live stream start on Monday? Haven't really chosen a time yet. We'll be streaming long before the polls close. We'll be getting everybody in here. We'll be here for a while. Get your popcorn. It's going to be a good night. Keep your eyes on our community tabs. Again, Monday's video, I will announce a start time for sure. You'll check the YouTube channel again. I'll have the thumbnail posted early enough in the day with a start time so people can plan. If you haven't yet, click your bell and turn it on for all notifications. We'll be on. We'll be live.
We'll be here.
We'll be here. Derek says 8 p.m. Which time zone? So there's the problem. There's the problem. Don't worry, guys. You guys will have the stream going early enough that you guys can get in. We'll be talking politics. We'll be talking all the great stuff about the evening. I'm going to see if we can get Clinton Jaws to pop in, maybe, or somebody to
for when it hits blue.
Maybe some guests. The problem when it comes to YouTube guests is that YouTube guests are running their streams on their channels. They're not going to have time to pop in here, or cut their feeds to come in here. So I'll maybe do a little digging, see if we can get a few people to pop in on election night. But if we can't, understandable. Dustin with another $2 super chat. Why not an Alberta federal party like the Bloc? So, you know what's funny? One of my longtime viewers, Rigor Mortis, called me out on a video I put out today about the push that Alberta is going to be making if Carney gets in to separate. And the question being, do you think it's going to be like this? I don't want it to be like this. Again, I want to see Canada stay a country. I love my country. But I've also said in the video that if Carney were to win, I'd be pro-separatist, not because I hate Canada. I hate the government. I hate the way the government functions. I want a future for my children. Now, Rigor Mortis pointed out, hey, that's fine. The East will fight this battle. You guys run tail and hide. Alberta just cares about itself. No, there are other provinces, not just Alberta, that are already poising that they want to separate. I don't believe the numbers are as strong as Alberta, except for Saskatchewan. They're saying Saskatchewan's are slightly higher.
Come with us.
So they're slightly higher, apparently, by a poll in Saskatchewan. But other provinces, Manitoba's been shuffling the idea around. And once Alberta were to leave, you'd see a significant amount of other provinces saying they want to do the same thing. Quebec says they're going to leave, apparently, again. That could be a thing.
I'm sorry. Quebec's been saying that for a very long time.
It's anybody's guess where things go. But
they just want to go with Alberta so they can keep getting their funds.
The problem has nothing to do, and I'm not talking about 51st state. I'm not talking about becoming a part of America.
Oh, no.
I understand that there's hurdles to cross should Alberta decide to go that route. I think at the very least, Alberta needs to be taken seriously at the table. We do, and there's no denying it, contribute a large portion of the country's GDP. Now, that doesn't mean people have to bow to us or kiss our butts. Again, we've been a province that's been happy to share the wealth. We just ask for a fair seat at the table. Now, we haven't gotten that from the federal government in decades, if ever. And it's time we start getting treated like we matter, like we're all in this together as they claim we are. If they don't want to do that, there comes a time where people here have to say, hey, we have the economic potential to be like Dubai. Why are we putting up with all this treatment from the government when we could just do it ourselves? I don't agree with separation, but I agree with the separatists. I agree that people are fed up. I agree that people are desperate for a solution. So where do I stand on that? Like I said, if Carney wins, I'm pro-separation because I can't take another 4 years of this. But again, I love my country and I'd rather we find a way to work it out, if that makes sense. Portuguese Pie, another great YouTube channel. I'm always, you know what? I always gloss over and miss Portuguese Pie when he's in the chat. Go follow him on YouTube. Great YouTube channel. Everybody definitely needs to get out and vote for change. The seat division is very dumb, but he's got great momentum. Great content as always, Derek and Tiffany. Congrats on cracking 80K. Thank you so much. Let's get Portuguese Pie up there. Let's go follow him. Watch his content. He's got good stuff. In fact, often mentioned in this chat when we talk about the great YouTubers, and I always gloss over it. Please don't take offense. There's so many greats to mention, but Portuguese Pie is one of them. Thank you for joining us in the chat tonight, and thank you for the super chat. I know I've missed a few others. We should get to those as well. I don't want anybody to feel left out. Dustin L's $5 super chat. If the Liberals get 5 seats in Alberta, separation won't happen. I beg to differ. We'll talk about that separation vote and why it would happen. Aside from those seats, we've got Hemster becoming a new member of the Patriots Club. Welcome in. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Let's talk about why separation would still happen. OAO, can you post his channel? I can.
Oh, there you go. Mike TV Dub did it for you.
Oh, Mike TV Dub's got it right here.
Thank you.
There's Portuguese Pie there. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for doing that. Mike Freedom Honey. I'll bring the sign to the meetup. Says, oh my goodness. Oh, do you guys want to see something amazing? Let's share that with you guys. I want to highlight Mike Freedom Honey.
I'm so excited.
Before we get into the Alberta deal here, Mike Freedom Honey, I hope it's okay that I show our messages because
I guess it is now.
Mike Freedom Honey. So Mike Freedom Honey offered to make this channel a sign for the backdrop. Now, people have been saying, hey, Fringe, you were making a studio. How come we don't see the backdrop behind us? It's just the black curtain still and the stuff. I'm waiting for this sign because you guys will not believe the creative masterpiece. Mike Freedom Honey did this pro bono, by the way. And I've offered him some deals on the side, but let's take a look at what Mike Freedom Honey has done for this channel. I'm absolutely, because there's a few to show here. Mike, I hope it's okay I'm showing this. I hope it's okay. We're doing it anyway.
He does amazing work.
We'll do it live.
For a sign.
Take a look here.
Hey, how's it going? It's Mike here, Freedom Honey, here at my buddy Benny's place, YG Laser, and working on your sign there, Fringy. All right. Get the tape. Okay, you're looking at 47, 24. So make a spot for it. So my laser guys is Benny. We served together, Army, 12 years together. Solid, really good friend. Anyway, this is going to be super sick. All right. Have a good weekend.
So that is going to be super sick. Shout out to both these fine gentlemen for their service to this country and offering to make such an amazing sign. An absolutely gigantic sign. And it doesn't just stop there. I was sent this photo of it being started. Like this is what, like 4 by 2, 4 feet by 2 feet. Absolutely amazing.
Oh,
and
it
then
looks
this was
so
sent.
good.
This was sent the other night. It's all coming together, folks. This is going to be in our backdrop on the wall, along with all the nerd stuff.
Front and center.
It's going to look absolutely phenomenal. And again, this is why I say we have the greatest community on this
Yes.
platform. Mike
Yes.
doing this absolutely free just to help the Fringe. Because
I told you were kind of awesome.
because he loves the work that we do and
Yes. That is
what we've done
amazing.
together. So thank you again to Mike. Thank you to YG Laser and all the work that they're doing. Again, we'll get a proper shout out to that business. Hopefully get them some work for what they've done here for us. Can't wait to have that sign in for you guys. So again, when people were saying, what were your plans for a studio? Make no mistake. Like I said, it's going to look great. You're going to like the way it looks. I guarantee it. Thank you again. Let's talk about Alberta and why it doesn't matter if the Liberals get in. Even if Liberals were to get seats, which I don't think they will. I don't think it's possible. You're going to have Liberal votes in the province, but I don't think it's going to be enough to sway seats. I could be wrong. Again, like I said, I don't count anything down until election night. But I think the thing about Alberta's constitution is that it states that we need 600,000 votes to push for a referendum. Now, they've already done that poll, and we've talked about that poll at 30%. 30% are already in support without a strong leader for separation.
But that's also not every Albertan voting.
Now, well, Preston Manning, again, we covered this on a video earlier this morning. Preston Manning has now sat down and said that, it's very much on the table, that you've got that 30%. Now, polls have shown the majority of that 30% is rural voters. Now, the rural voters are the ones who come out. They never miss an election. They're often the ones that are at the polls over urban. And they're saying that if rural voters, the rural voters right now constitute roughly 500,000 votes based on turnout in the province. So if all of those rural voters came out and voted in favor of a referendum, you would only need 100,000 between Edmonton, Calgary, and Red Deer, possibly Lethbridge, depending on what you're going to count as rural or urban, to push for a vote. They can't block it. They can't do anything. In fact, my good friend Jason Levine, who's running for the PPC in Parkland County, shout out to Jason. I wish him all the best.
Because if Liberals get in, that's just federal, not provincial.
His prediction is that if Carney wins, Alberta votes to separate. The federal court will not acknowledge the separation vote.
No.
The federal government won't acknowledge the separation vote. Danielle Smith would not acknowledge it simply because she doesn't want any part of it. According to him, again, this is just hearsay. This is his prediction.
She's already warned it's going to come because she knows that's what the people want.
And then a true separation party would form and Alberta would move on because it's in their constitution. Yeah. The Liberals cannot block the vote. The rules are very, very firm on that. It's a very real possibility. I thought if you would have said this to me 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that separatism would be on the rise in Alberta, I would have said, come on. People have talked about things like it's never going to happen. Now, I'm actually very scared that it's a slight possibility.
100%, yeah.
Arthur, $10 super chat. I think the background is fantastic. I do not want to see any background that doesn't have all-time favorite arcade game from the 80s.
It'll be there, Arthur.
Dragon's Lair will still be in here. I'll just have to be very careful about where I put it to make sure other things are seen.
Yes.
Doc with the $1.99 super chat. Your older studio was more intimate. So this is going to look a little bit more like that once it's done. I'm not going to have all the arcade machines, but there's still going to be some cool stuff around. Believe me, I got plans.
And you have so many cool things. You could switch it out.
I wish I could turn the camera because I've got about 5 boxes worth of nerd stuff over here. I'm waiting to get on shelves.
I'm
waiting
so much more to that
schlep out.
Nobody saw.
It's going to look great, guys. I think it's going to look fantastic. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. I'm looking forward to it. Somebody mentioning the C64 Mini behind me. I've got a lot of cool stuff that's going to be out on display. At least as much as I can fit on camera. Maybe we'll switch it up once in a while. Keep it rotating so everybody can have a good time on the set. Let's get into Q&A.
Yeah.
We've gone overboard. We've gone overtime. Needless to say, folks, I think things are looking good for Pierre. Again, I'm going to be naive. I'm going to say it's a Pierre win on Monday. Join us.
Be here Monday.
Join us for that live stream. It's going to be fantastic. Let's get into the Q&A.
Go up for a bit.
Would you have enjoyed the Calgary Comic-Con this weekend? You know, I don't mind Calgary Comic-Con. I think it's a little overpriced for what they do. The problem is that Comic-Con in Calgary was good when it was an independently run event, and then it was bought up, and now the guys who run it, they do a good job getting guests and things like that. It's just way overpriced.
CB.
Does Tiff like the bed? Oh, right on. We bought a mattress from CB's son. So that's why he's asking. He's not a perv. If you give the boys business a shout out, he said you would get a set of king size sheets for it. Okay, well.
Do you get pillowcases with it? It's got to be a whole set.
I gotta listen. They don't have to do that. I'd be grateful for it.
Really, it was a pleasure actually working with them. They were great, and the mattress is wonderful.
Let me give them a proper shout out on the next. We'll give them a proper shout out election night. We'll have more people here. Thank you for bringing that up, CB. I'm happy to give them a shout out. We love the bed.
Yeah,
we'll give them a shout out on Monday night. Thank you to them for doing that as well. Let's see. I have a question, says Debbie. Okay. Why do people keep saying Trudeau has been in for 10 years? Isn't it 12? Because each term is 4 years, is it not? Well, no, he called an election halfway through.
Yeah, so
during the pandemic.
He's only been in for 2 terms, which is 8, but he called one.
He called one 2 years in. So during the pandemic, Trudeau called a snap election to try and guarantee himself more seats. He lost his majority. If he wouldn't have called that election, he probably would have lost the next election due to his sinking poll. Again, he went from majority to minority.
Which wasn't any better.
He came into power in 2015. It's 2025. It's 10 years.
Yeah.
So that's where we're getting 10 years from. Lucas saying, unacceptable fringe. I got my hoodie. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Again, reminder, folks, tonight, 2 giveaways. You have to be a member of the Patriots Club in order to get in on those giveaways. Lee saying there's a pinball expo coming in May. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I wish.
You know you want to be there.
Oh, here we go. Here comes the nerd stuff. In the Generation 1 Transformers world, who wins? Bruticus or Superion? Superion. Come on. Superion.
I was way
hands
over my
down.
head. I don't know who either one of those
I'm not going to get into the debate about it because everybody will leave. People don't want to hear for nerd stuff. Mad Dog Tradesman. I keep thinking of Mad Dog Tannen every time I see that. Thank you for the super chat. Need a revolve stage like in a reboot Enzo's birthday.
Yes.
There you go. Thank you for the super
you need,
chat.
like revolving walls to fill all your stuff.
Becca saying, does anybody feel nervous for Monday? No, let's be calm. Let's get ready for that blue wave. Look, don't be nervous, folks. Whatever comes, we're going to deal with it together.
I'm going to eat my feelings that day.
We're going to get through it together, regardless of what happens. I'm predicting a win for us. I think people are fed up enough. Hang in there. Calm. There's no sense in stressing about the things we can't change. If you've done your part and you've voted, all we can stress about are the things when they happen. Let's not waste energy boiling ourselves up over nothing when it hasn't happened yet.
So it's got to go blue.
Yeah, Mrs. Fringe celebrates her birthday this week. So I hope she has a good birthday with a new prime minister in office.
Oh, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, he did finish his terms twice.
Yeah.
And then called 2 years in on the second one. DMAX saying, I'm not watching the election. I'm too stressed to be disappointed. Well, that's your choice. Again, just breathe. Hopefully we get through it.
That's how I do. I sleep through it and just hope for the best.
Will this old cripple guy be able to maneuver my walker to the meet and greet? I sure hope so, Reg. It'd be great to see you.
It would be lovely.
Again, for anybody who joined us late, our meet and greet, May 10th, Saturday, West Edmonton Mall, Bourbon Street, Hudson's Bar. We have a room at the back, a separate room. So come on back there. It's going to be great. No only Fringe stuff going on in there. Just hanging out, Get your drink on, have some appies, have a good time. We'll be
That'll
doing
awesome.
selfies, signing books again. Just a reminder for anybody coming in. We'll have books for sale, whatever I have in inventory, $20 a book. They do get signed with all proceeds going to Chris and Tamara. So if you haven't yet picked up all of our books, they'll be limited, but what I'll have there is what I'll have. It's gonna be a fun time. Dustin saying, what is the best pinball machine? My personal favorite pinball machine borders on the Addams Family or Medieval Madness. I like both of those. Those are probably my two favorites. But there's so many because I like the different styles of all of them. I like Elvira's Scared Stiff. I like the AC/DC Stern pinball. Another one I play very often. Tales from the Crypt, T2. A lot of good pinball machines. A lot of good ones. Mike TV Dub becoming a member for 1 month. Got my Unacceptable Fringe zip-up hoodie today, too. In Borat's voice, very nice. I'm glad to hear. So glad you got it. I'm glad you enjoy it.
Yeah, you got 2 draws to do tonight.
Kinsey saying I got my T-shirt today as well. I'm glad to hear. Yes, Kinsey emailed me to let me know. I think it's going to be great. There's HonkTube. Eat an apple and have a smile. Do that on Monday. Apples should be sold out across the country.
Yes.
On Monday. It's going to be a great day. Danny saying for Monday, I'm going to let out the biggest sigh of relief with Pierre. I sure hope so. I hope that's what we see. I hope it's what we see. Me Grimlock still think better than Mark Carney. You know what? I want to get my Grimlock figure on set. Love that. That was probably my favorite Dinobot out of the whole line. OAO saying, Derek, big shout out to you and Cabron Tax Carson. I love my hoodie. Listen, Cabron Tax Carson, an amazing supporter of this channel. I have to thank him again for all of his offered help that we didn't ask for to donate towards Tamara and Chris. His support of this channel is unfathomable. And again, it just goes to show we have the greatest community on this platform. We don't ask for that. We don't shill. We're grateful anytime somebody wants to support the channel because this is my primary source of income.
It's our only income right now.
Well, right now while you're looking for a job, but it's my source of income because I'm at home for the kids. We got to make sure somebody's here for the kids.
Yep.
And it's just nice to know that we have a community that cares. I've always said, watch the videos, subscribe. That helps us more than anything, which it does. YouTube pays me. But anytime you guys give super chats, anytime you guys get memberships, you become a part of this community. I'm always happy to do giveaways, but Cabron Tax Carson supporting this channel has done absolutely phenomenal. So thank you. Thank you. OAO saying, help Derek hit 100,000 subscribers. If Derek hits 100,000, he adds the Borat Lime Mankini.
With pink
flip
flip-flops
of the merch store. No, I don't. Stop with the misinformation. It's not happening.
Fake news.
Yeah, fake news. It's not happening. We will do a celebratory stream though. And we'll probably do a lot of giveaways.
Go up
that night. It's going to be great.
My lady's birthday is April 27th.
Is Tiffany celebrating close to the same time?
2 days after my son's birthday is actually April 27th.
Our son's is the 27th. Tiffany's is the 29th.
He was my birthday present.
It's going to be crazy. And look at this. Just after I said how great Cabron Tax Carson is, he gifts another 20 Unacceptable Fringe memberships to the Patriots Club. Look, what a guy. Thank you so much. You're an amazing member of our community. People are saying we're lacking a little bit.
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
There we go. How? More cowbell. Guys, we got a giveaway to do on the stream tonight. It's going to be crazy. Should we just get into that?
Yeah.
Why don't we get into that?
Do our first one.
Let's get into our first giveaway. Again, let's do the one that was courtesy of Cabron Tax Carson, since again, he's been so generous tonight.
Ugh.
Let's get that randomizer fired up. I accidentally clicked off of it.
Yeah. Do.
Susie Como. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Suzicomeau. Is Susie in the chat? Susie Como. Second draw, Evelyn Charan, Churan. Are both those folks in the chat?
Susie said yes.
Susie's here. Susie's there.
Whoop whoop.
Susie Como. Is Evelyn still in the stream? Do we see Evelyn in here? Evelyn's here. Yes, I am. Why? You have won. You've won our giveaway for the month for being a member of the Patriots Club. So thank you so much to both of you. Here we're gonna. Do you want to fire up the old keyboard there? I'm gonna get you to type in the email address. We're gonna hear Mrs. Fringe with the clickety clackety. Unacceptablefringeyt@gmail.com. Send me an email once Mrs. Fringe can type. Congratulations to both of you. Unacceptablefringeyt@gmail.com. God, this is why you don't have a job. You're typing slow. Unacceptable fringe, YT. So unacceptable fringe, you misspelt it. It's spelled Fringe. Unacceptable fringe, YT@gmail.com. Pay no attention to the spelling mistake. So unacceptable fringe, YT for YouTube. Unacceptablefringeyt@gmail.com.
It's because the font is so small I can't see it.
Head over to the shop button on one of our regular videos. Pick anything out from our store. Any item you wish. Can be a hoodie, a mug, a hat, t-shirt, whatever you want. One item of your choice. If it's a clothing item, make sure to take a screenshot of the exact item you want with the color and size. Send me your shipping information alongside it, and we'll make sure we get those sent out to you right away. Again, can take a couple of weeks from the store, but congratulations to both. So again, send that email to unacceptablefringeyt@gmail.com, and we'll get those sent out. Again, include a screenshot of the clothing item you want, the size and color, as well as your shipping information. Congratulations to both. To both of our winners tonight. That's absolutely amazing. Barry saying, I need one of those hats. Well, good news. You can get them on our shop. I think they're actually on sale right now. So go and grab one. And again, all proceeds are going to help Tamara and Chris with their appeals. So head over and grab it before the end of the month. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, time to wrap up the old stream because we got to get ready for Monday night. It's going to be absolutely insane. It's going to be an amazing election night. We're going to be hanging out here. Bring your popcorn, bring your food, your booze, whatever you need to get through it. We're going to watch Mark Carney get absolutely destroyed. Pierre Poilievre will become the next Prime Minister of Canada. We're going to watch that massive blue wave come in, and it's going to drown Mark Carney and those liberals, the liberals scum away from Canada. Once and for all, it's going to be fantastic. I know a lot of people who run in politics, but none like Pierre Poilievre. He's fantastic, believe me. Join me Monday night. Again, I will have posted the time that we're starting closer to Monday. I hope to see you all there. Thank you to everybody who came in tonight, who participated in the live stream and either super chatted, became members, gifted memberships. Arthur OK, Reg Porter, Cole, Tamitha Millette, North 49 RC, Justin Halbersma, Lucas C, TaylorMade, Tyler Watson, BJ McGraw, Janet Navarrete. I hope I'm pronouncing that properly. Shorts Gone Wild, Sean Gao. I think I said Tyler Watson, Nilok Jr. A lot of repeats. David Warner, Steph Val, Reg Porter, Annetta Vickies, Carnage Carney, Carol Munger, Smokeless Choice, Piolo Adawan, Dustin Ellis, Portuguese Pie. Again, go give him a follow on YouTube. Hempster, Mike Freedom Honey, Doc Luke, Mad Dog Tradesman. I almost said Tannen again. And Cabron, Tax, Carson. You guys are all amazing. Thank you to all of our community members. Welcome to all of our gifted Patriots Club members tonight. You guys rock. We we are so grateful for all your continued support here on the channel. You guys have been fabulous. Have yourselves a great weekend. Keep your eyes peeled for new content dropping this weekend. If you haven't subscribed yet, boy, you're missing out. Hit that button. Let's get to 100,000. Let's see how fast we can get there, folks. Let's get that silver play button secured. We're growing at an alarming rate, almost 1,000 subscribers today alone. It's been absolutely crazy leading up to the election, folks. Hopefully it stays that way. So make sure you join our large Fringe majority. From Mrs. Fringe and myself, look after each other. Keep your stick on the ice. Be respectful to each other when talking to people. And we'll catch you on the next one. Have a good night.
Take care.